woke up this morning, and it's crazy how like this is what pisses me off is that when all these hosts left, you know, they were all throwing dirt on my name, right? They're all trying to make me look bad, spread fake narratives, act like I was a bad friend, act like I was trying to get people set up and exposed as being trans people lovers, etc., instead of just really like rodding with their boss, like the guy who gave them opportunities through their whole career. And that was rough for me. It was a tough time in my life to realize that a lot of people that I had a lot of faith in were basically snakes, and that they, ultimately didn't give a fuck about me and were happy to paint fake negative narratives about me on the way out the door. But now that like the smoke has cleared and the dust has settled a little bit, and I mean it's pretty fucking obvious that the Fat Munity channel is not really going anywhere. That's clearly like the last priority for these guys, that they're all focused on their own platforms, which was already the case. So it's like, they basically are in a situation where they left No Jumper to start a No Jumper clone, and then they're not putting any attention into No Jumper. But for some reason, like, people don't want to see me acknowledge this. Anytime I call out the fact that everybody thought that my career was over, anytime I acknowledge the fact that that is not the case, that our YouTube channel is killing it, that I think we got 45 million views last month. As soon as I start acknowledging how funny it is that you don't, not like all of you, but some of you, that some of y'all really believed that Snake Boy was up next. Like people really thought that Snake Boy's name was gonna be in the Hip Hop Hall of Fame right next to me and Akademiks and Vlad and Joe Budden and Charlemagne or whatever. And now that the smoke has cleared a little bit, people are realizing that the motherfucker can barely put a sentence together. He's zesty as fuck. He thinks that he's like gonna get a Skims deal. I don't even know how to put into words how insane this is, that people thought that the next Adam22 was gonna be somebody who really has almost nothing to offer when it comes to takes and whatnot. And shout out Sauce Walker. I see you in the chat. I'm really trying to get down with Sauce. Not get down like that. Like, I don't want to squabble. He'll probably beat the shit out of me. But Sauce Walker, that's my boy. 5K interview. He's telling me the price on live? Sauce Walker, what the fuck? I've seen you laying pipe on OnlyFans before. Don't tell him, don't give away the game. Don't tell him how much the interview gonna cost. See, I fucked up because Sauce Walker invited me to his live show a couple weeks ago, and I forgot about it, and I didn't go because I was doing interviews all day. And then I was like, yo, but we should do an interview anyway. And I'm like, you're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it because okay, am I actually live? Is anyone actually viewing this? This is such a rapper thing to do, to just be driving around on live. It's like, am I going to regret this? Is this just bad form? It's such a rapper thing to do. But what I'm not going to do is do the rapper thing of like pulling the camera up and letting everybody see where I'm at. That's what I'm not doing. That's a little too zesty. I can't do that sort of thing. But I'm definitely out here on live while I'm driving around in the morning doing various different chores and activities. This is like time during the day where typically I would be engaging with other people's content, listening to something like the New York Times. Mimo600 in the chat, he out here. Shout out to BOE Sosa in the chat. He out here. He coming on No Jumper soon. We tapping in. People think we only stir up drama in Chicago. Not true. Northern California, LA, any part of America can get it. Can get the No Jumper interviews, stirring up some early 20s gang members getting into it. Just kidding. But if the music is hard alongside it, then yeah, we might have to have those conversations. Somebody said dude is on fentanyl right now. I mean, I've seen videos of people on fentanyl. I don't feel like I'm giving off that energy right now. If anything, I'm giving out coffee energy. Look at Azay Productions wants to come on again. He's seen Half Pint Films doing their thing on No Jumper, which hasn't actually dropped yet. He said, no, I need a cloud infusion. Fuck all that. Shout out to my boy Azay though. FYBJ Main, where is he at? What's going on with him? This is my thing about FYBJ Main. I've been tuned in to what do you call it? The new DJU interview. You're under whooping, J Main. This is like a serious under-whooping scenario because I've been clicking on the links. He's just chilling. He's turning into like every like stoned ass fucking rapper doing interviews and not really saying. Main is kind of like going through the transformation that a lot of rappers have, where they start getting money, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, this is dope. Yeah, I'm gonna buy hella weed. I'm gonna buy some lean. I'm gonna buy some perks." I'm not saying that J Mane's on lean and the perks. I have no knowledge of that, but you know, it's just that they start getting too fried, and then all of a sudden the music gets boring, the interviews get boring, and then all of a sudden just shit is not the same, and that's a problem. So that's my advice to J Mane based on the last couple of clips that I clicked on. We got to whoop more. You got to over whoop, because keep in mind, this is a guy who was like fake tattooing OTF on his face. He was, you know, fake pretending to be a doctor. He was just doing the most at one point, and now it feels like he thinks that he gets to like just do an interview and not really whoop, and that people are gonna still be impressed. I don't think that's really how this works. You Ain't Hard Foo said that he wants to come through and smoke a blunt. Buddy, I'm doing 3 interviews today. I don't got no time to smoke a blunt. I don't even smoke blunts, so clearly you don't know me too well if you think that idea makes sense. People always hit me with that. Like, let me just come through and chill. I'm like, I'm not chilling. I'm stressed out all day. I'm pulling my fucking hair out. You see this hairline? I'm pulling my hair out all day. I'm trying to make some content. I got no time to chill. And if I do have any time to chill, I'm probably going to be like eating my meal prep and perhaps smoking weed. That kind of slows me down. You know, I got a few big ones today. People are telling me, oh man, look at my man John T in there. My man Lil John showing up in the chat. Okay, see, now I'm at a red light so I can read the chat. Oh shit. No way. Is she really gonna join? Where is she? On the added, and I'm such a nice guy that it's like, okay, I'm just gonna add everybody. So, you know, problems are erupting. Man, I got so much good gas that I wanna put out right now. I want to put out the new Whack 100 episodes so bad. He was talking crazy. We got in a huge argument in the middle of the fucking podcast, and I'm dying to find out what people think about it, because I want to see what their perspective is on it. And then past that, I'm dying to put out the Snoopy Badass episode, even though I could kind of imagine some people that I fuck with being offended or not being fans of some of the way that conversation went. You know, it's tricky being the 22ster these days. Nobody gets along. Everybody hates each other. Everybody got problems. Oh, look. This is a list of invites, not a list of requests. See, this shit is very confusing me. But yeah, I didn't go to his show. Like, maybe he would come through do the interview if I had gone to his show. Going to the show, if I brought a cameraman with him, I probably would have got better fucking content than doing the interview anyway. But either way, I gotta fuck with Sauce Walker, and that's all there is to it. Free Drippy. But anyway, yeah, like, I got blocked today just for pointing out that there was a tampon string hanging out. I mean, realistically though, like, the T-Rail situation is crazy because, you know, as soon as his podcast started popping off, as soon as not podcast, but as soon as Back on Fix started doing its thing, he decides, oh, I'm gonna add my girl. I'm gonna make my girl be the co-host. The other day, I seen a poll in the chat, or in the Back on Fig Reddit. So that's their Reddit. That's not like the hater ass no jumper Reddit. That's their Reddit, and it was like, should Leather be removed from the podcast? I think it was 90% of people said yes. 90% of their fans said that she needed to be removed from the podcast. Now, this creates a really, really big problem for him because, A, he's in debt for millions of dollars. So he's basically like funneling his house and everything every expense, every cost is going through her because he's like legally not allowed to have money. Because obviously, if he had money, like if he had a couple $100,000 in the bank, boom, they're coming for it. They're going to take it because he owes hella money. And so he has to keep on good terms with Heather. He can't, just fuck off, or he can't even really tell her he doesn't want her on the podcast anymore, even though 90% of the people on the pod who watch the shit don't want her on the shit anymore. So he's kind of fucked in that regard. He can't get rid of her because obviously, but they canceled, they're supposed to be on Fridays, right? They canceled last week. And now it's like every single time she goes back there, can you imagine what's going through her head when she's reading the fucking chat and just and just seeing it and just realizing that like the fan base has officially turned on her. And when you look at the numbers on Mondays versus Fridays, every once in a while I'll tap in and look at the Monday episodes versus the Friday episodes. A lot of times it's like the Monday episodes get 2 times as many views as the Friday episodes. So that shit's all fucked up. And she got him acting like a FAGGOT on the fucking Instagram reels. Like, I don't even know how he thought that shit was okay. Like, doing free Skims ads. Like, I don't know. And this is the shit, like, I could just sit here and just armchair quarterback the fucking demise of their platform all the time. But I just don't, because it doesn't really feel like it's important enough for me to sink time and energy into, even though they very much went out of their way to make tons of content about me and try to drag me down. But it just feels a little bit low. But then I think about Akademiks and Rory and Mal, and I'm like, well, I've been watching Akademiks talk about Rory and Mal for like a couple of years now, and he doesn't seem like he's getting sick of it. He's just really using them for content and having something to talk about. Somehow, but that's all right. That's the difference, though, is that Rory and Mal, they were never Akademiks employees. So if they were ex-Akademiks employees, maybe he would look like a salty, shitty ex-boss or whatever if he was talking about them. So I can understand where that narrative comes from. But let me just say this, is that my favorite thing about all this, and I'm not really seeing that much of the chat right now. It's only when I hit the red light do I get to really see the chat. But it's just hilarious because, like, all right, think about AD. AD left No Jumper, right? So when he left No Jumper, he really kind of fucked me over, right? Because all of a sudden we had like some hosts, they all kind of leave at the same time. It makes No Jumper look bad. It fucked me over, even though we got it right back and we're now making more money than we were making when they were with the channel and everything like that. But the crazy thing about it is that he totally fucked me over, me being basically like the person who's helped him more in his adult life than anyone else. Think about it. Try to think of somebody. Everybody else, what'd they do? They didn't put money in your pocket. They just fucking brought you on stage and had you be their hype man, or like brought you to their shows and let you stand on stage next to them or whatever. I put real money in AD's pocket, and then he fucked me over. The thing is, though, it didn't help him in any way. Like, he did not benefit from leaving No Jumper in any way. He's making way less money now on his own than he was when he was at No Jumper, and there is absolutely no reason, no sign that that's going to change in the future. So he left No Jumper to start something that is already basically dead in the form of the Fat Immunity Girls channel. And I mean, like, just think about that. He fucked me over, but didn't help himself in the process. That is exactly how you do not backdoor somebody. If you backdoor somebody, you're supposed to profit from it as a result, whether through money or clout or a business or connection, whatever. So many things wrong with that when you really think about it. And then you also have to look at Trell. He really got fucked in the process because he got dragged along with it. Like, Trell was really starting to seem like he might turn into something, but then AD and Pun convinced him to leave No Jumper, and it's been pretty fucking quiet, and now they've kind of like moved past. Before it was just them kicking it. Now it's always a guest. Every episode damn near has a guest. They can't really just kick it and just talk anymore because they don't really have like the communicative ability to like really be that. Like, you look at the Joe Budden podcast, like they're very good at just having conversations about whatever every week, right? These dudes are not talented enough to necessarily do that. So they got to bring in guests now, and they got to try to like do the interviews as part of the stream, whatever. But the fucking hilarious thing that I know that you guys see taking place, is that the manager, who was supposed to be, bringing these dudes together, who was supposed to help them become this tight-knit group that they claim that they are, is now doing a stream where he brings the fans on and basically drums up controversy and turmoil between the different hosts. And it's like clearly causing a lot of division and spite amongst them. And you'll notice that like AD won't even go on it because the negative narratives about him that the fans are obviously going to spin. I mean, AD too sensitive for that. Like, he's just not going to be able to just sit there and smile while people point out that he left no jumper and has nothing as a result. So now you have Mr. Potato Head basically just doing these streams that are tearing apart these dudes, and somebody is too bitch made to step up and say like, hey, that shit ain't cool. And it really strikes a chord with me because I was that bitch made as well. Remember when I used to fucking have the no jumper show going and you know, at the end of the day and all this kind of shit. And then I had Pumpkinhead. I had Mr. fucking Potato Pumpkinhead doing streams, talking all kinds of crazy shit. And I mean, I'm sitting there like, bro, this is the manager to my talent, to one of my main talent. And he's over here just drumming up controversy on his stream to help his stream. And then meanwhile, I just like, I'm not allowed to do anything about it because whenever I would try to say something about it to AD, it would become obvious to me that he was too scared of Potato Head to really even like stand up for himself and tell his manager that he was clearly having a negative impact on his career and his future with no jumper. But that's the funny shit. I remember telling Josh and telling fucking whoever, telling my other guys at the office, telling them like that it's going to be interesting because once they leave no jumper, they're going to have to actually figure out how to make content, and they're not going to be able to just beef with each other, because why would they want to beef with each other when it's their platform? I thought they were just doing the beef thing because it was my platform. And when you're on my platform, it's like, oh, you can be messy and you can cause drama and you can cause all this controversy and stuff. I didn't think they were going to keep doing that when they left. It turns out that's all they're doing. They're doing that way worse than they were doing it when they were at No Jumper, just constant drama. And it's funny as fuck, too, because you got the Apollo, who are just like making it so much worse, and just like every negative narrative you could possibly think about with Zrel and everybody, they're just hyping it up for their own content, which to me is like the funniest fucking thing in the world, because they can't do anything about it because half of those dudes with the Mac Wops and the Keems, I mean, those dudes are better on camera than, I mean, all right, those two dudes, Keem and what's his name, Magwap, both better on camera than Smack or Duno or AD. So you guys picked the wrong starting lineup. Let's start there. I mean, Smack got nothing to offer. He came back. He was gone for months with no foot. He came back, did nothing. Like, there's no boost in views. He hasn't even shown up since then. I mean, that's crazy. It's supposed to be a boost when you come back if you're gone for a few months, right? Didn't happen. And then you got like, I mean, AD is clearly peaked. Like, could anyone fathom a future in which AD is doing better or has more of a fan base or like has the people more interested in him than right now or than in the past? I mean, it's obviously not happening. Like, obviously, as soon as he left No Jumper, it just began a steep downhill crawl to nothingness. Meanwhile, the No Jumper store, we ran Sorella off the block. They can't even sell tube tops no more because we out there now. And there's just, you know, everything's going pretty well with No Jumper. I mean, obviously the Adam and Wax show is bigger than any of the shows that they got going on. They can't even hit 90K. They can't even hit 100K on the Shame on You shit. So shame on y'all. I think the shame on you is meant for me, right? Shame on y'all for leaving and not even benefiting as a result. You know, it's one thing to screw somebody over that like really went hard for you. Really screwing somebody over who like did everything possible for you. It's another thing to just not benefit from it, to get nothing out of it. That's crazy. That's bananas, if you ask me. But hey, what can you do? Anyway, I just wanted to rant a little bit, let people know what I was thinking. Oh, no, I'm just looking at the chat. I'm just looking at the chat. Well, I don't know why y'all guys are bothering to tag T-Row when he got me blocked now. He got me blocked because he wasn't ready to hear the truth about the tampon strings and whatnot. How long have I been on here for? I'm going to guess I was on here for like 20, 30 minutes. I don't know. Maybe I'll be back on here later. I'm definitely going to be tapping in with the No Jumper show tomorrow. I think is me. What is it? Me, Spiderloak, Brick, and Dub and Remo, I think it is, tomorrow. Damn, No Jumper Till I Die on Alu Akbar. I'm with all that shit. I'm whooping on everything. But yo, man, the string. Did y'all see that string? At least it ain't like a blood-soaked string, because I could have kind of imagined that. I could imagine a blood-soaked string just poking out. I don't know if she could recover from that. That's tough. That's not easy to come back from. Oh, here we go. Here's the request. Shout out Naughty Cuz, but you're not LA enough to be talking to me right now. I don't think. I'm not trying to have a New York drill conversation, but he's definitely coming on the podcast in the near future, which is going to be great. Yeah, we might have an episode name for next week. Might have to call that shit "Shame on You" for the No Jumper show. Yeah, No Jumper's the original one, like really, the genuine original artifact of this shit. That's why when anybody tries to say some shit and feel like they have any kind of ownership over the interview game or whatever, I mean, that shit's crazy to me. I've been doing this shit since 2015, making no money, just doing it all for the love. Masika in the chat. I do love her. She's a real worker of art, that woman. Man, I got so much shit I got to bring in. No Jumper has no motion. Like, do you really believe that? The bread and butter of No Jumper has always been the interviews. I think a lot of people don't understand that. I don't think that they understand that, like, all of the times where we've been making a lot of money and doing really well has been because of the interviews. And that, yeah, we had like a wave with the weekly podcast and everything for a while there. But that shit was never really like the money getter. That was never the thing that was really bringing in cash. You know what I'm saying? So focusing on the interviews, like same thing with Vlad. Like Vlad's done the podcast thing. He had like a podcast with Rico Reckless that he started. He had the shit with Ari Spears that he started. But ultimately, end of the day, what makes Vlad have a good month versus a bad month? It's just getting a bunch of interviews. That's the whole thing. So it's kind of like similar for us, where it's like, yeah, it's dope if we could get the No Jumper show to 200K versus 100K, but really it ain't gonna matter that much. Man, DJ Flip, I don't know why you're trying to throw out business ideas in here when you've been talking shit about me in the past and then deleting it like I didn't see it. And you ain't got no motion. You got nothing going on. So I don't know what the fuck you think I'm going to partner with you on, DJ Flip. I ain't got nothing against you, DJ Flip, but I don't know if you getting in your feelings off the Yerkies and you fucking feel like commenting on me on your fucking story and shit and thinking that I'm not seeing it, and then you coming in this live acting friendly. I don't know what the fuck you're thinking with that. But yeah, we are witnessing the end of No Jumper. I mean, it's just fascinating to me when people say shit like that when we are doing better than we've ever been doing before. Literally. Financially. Better right now than we've ever been doing before. But because the No Jumper show is not exactly in the place that it needs to be right now, people are going to say, like, No Jumper is dead. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? We just got a new store. We're about to be in that store all the time, making way crazier content. Way crazier content, man. That's just all I'm saying. Way crazier content. Because, and see, that's the other thing that pissed me off about DJ Flip is he asked me like 100,000 times to do a video talking into the camera and talking about like, oh, I'm holler at DJ Flip, do a video. He's gonna give you a beat, give him $5,000 or $4,000 or whatever, and he's gonna do a beat for you and promote your song or whatever. And I'm just not trying to do it because it just sounds gay as fuck, and I don't want to do it. I don't like doing like weird ass promotional shit for stuff that like realistically I don't believe in. And like, AD did one for DJ Flip for free, and like I seen other people doing it. I've seen Crib Mac doing it, whatever. It's like, bro, I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it because I don't want to fucking do it. And he's asked me like 15 fucking times. And then because I ignored him asking me to do this promotional shit for his beats, then he's going to go on his story and talk a bunch of shit about me and then delete it, think I didn't see it, and then act friendly in here. So DJ Flip, that's why I don't respect you, is because you asked me 1,000 times to do this gay ass promotional shit, and then when I ignored it, you talk shit and then deleted it, and now you're trying to act friendly in the fucking Instagram chat. So I don't respect it, but it is what it is. So it's crazy. It's like I just did that Blueface interview. I was like 700K. So that like, you know, I'll probably have 1 million in a couple of days. So that's the equivalent of me doing like, you know, 10 no jumper shows, or like, you know, let's say I was getting 200K, that would be the equivalent of me doing like 5 no jumper shows all at once from one good interview. I mean, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? I know my business. I know what makes me money, but I got all these people letting me know what they think. JB, the bodyguard, said, Adam, get some, man, I don't know no gang members. And the ones that do seem like they're mostly Crips. But, oh, and the Roosters. We got the Roosters too. Yeah, you got a mental disability. Shut the fuck up. Nobody trying to hear from you. You look like you belong on the slow bus. Let's start there. Seti Nash, shout out to you. Is Sky Breeze still signed to you? No, we ran the course of the 2-year contract, and she has gone on her way. She's not doing the adult thing anymore. But I mean, really, I look at that shit. I look at, and shout out my boy One Track. Hey, shout out my boy All Black. All Black, really one of the best rappers from the Bay. I got mad love for All Black. I was just watching a bunch of old Draco videos, and I seen my man All Black up in there, posted up. We know the truth. Long live the truth. I don't know. What happened to the Adam and Last show? We got another episode on deck. We're just waiting to get it out there. Chelsea Wild, do you still sign girls? Yes, definitely. Slide up in my DMs. We've been looking for some new talent. But I mean, really, the thing with Sky Bree, if you want to break it down, like this is why me and you, not me and you, but me and all the goons out there that think that they can tell me something when it comes to the fans and stuff. This, like, keep in mind, every single person who used to be a host on No Jumper has never made $1 million. They have never had $1 million. Realistically, almost all of them have never had $100,000. I met Sky Bree, one girl. I met one girl. She had 4,000 followers. I signed her to a management deal. She has, I think, like 2 million followers now. I know that me and my girl, because I got my girl in on the deal too. Did the right thing, 50-50. We each, I think, each made over $1 million off of one girl that we met. One girl, $1 million plus each. I did that for my wifey. It's nothing. It's nothing. And then at the end of the term, she went on. She did her thing. I got no grudge against her. That's still my homegirl. I love Sky. But again, I met her when she had 4,000 followers. Got her to 2 million. Now, granted, we did the work in the beginning, but at a certain point, she just started blowing the fuck up. I don't blame her for going on and doing her own thing, because realistically, once you're on like the KSI shit, once you're on, you know, you're with the sidemen and shit, like, well, it's like, what can I really do for you once you've gotten so big that there's no opportunity I can get you that's bigger than what you've already, you know, done for yourself once I helped get her off the ground. So, you know, we had a 2-year deal, finished the 2-year deal. She keeps doing her thing. I'm proud of her. I'm happy for her. But again, $1 million each of one girl. And all my ops have never had 100,000. I put 100 racks on his head. He put a rack on me. There's an asymmetry. I'm going to teach you guys a new word today. There's an asymmetry. Do you know what an asymmetry is? Asymmetry means that these things cannot appear coinciding side by side. Bro, if you seriously think that T-Rail got $1 million, T-Rail has many millions of dollars in debt. Do not put me and Snake Boy in the same category, ever. Please, please. It's not happening. AOKD said, who's your ops? I don't even really feel like calling them my ops because it's like, you know, it's just not fair. It's just not fair. What would you do when Brick and CryptMap become your enemies? I mean, hopefully we never get to that point. We have a good, strong working business relationship right now. If it came down to it where if they had a better opportunity, I would have to, hear it out. And then I would have to come to some sort of conclusion about if I could match that opportunity, right? And if I can't match that opportunity, then we got to go our separate ways. Or maybe they want to start their own platform at a certain time. The thing is that they can do that without having to backstab me and create fake narratives about me, which AD and Trell they chose not to do that. They chose to do the most selfish thing possible and try to screw me over after everything I did for them. So I feel like they very much deserve their fate, if that's fair to say. The fact that the Fig Community channel is in the garbage can, I feel like that's fair. Anyway, this was fun. I had a few things I wanted to get off my chest. I'm going to work. I got 3 interviews to do today. Somebody tell FBG Butter to text me back so that he can hopefully be one of them. What's your thoughts on CryptMac linking with your op Neon? Why is Neon my op? I think we're using the word op a little too liberally if Neon qualifies as my op. I understand though, because we are in the op age, and we have people like they wanted to start a network and ended up with a Discord show. Come on, dog. This ain't needed, my dude. Shout out Steady Nash. It wasn't needed when you talked to the cops on TV either. Sorry, I had to do that. Man, yeah, you listen to that Drake album, it's just all op talk. It's like everybody has to talk about ops in this day and age. Shout out City Nash, so I got nothing but love for City. I really think that Drake kind of brought 21 in because he's a more promising and authentic op haver. He's 21 sounds very genuine when he's talking about his ops on a song, whereas I feel like Drake kind of knows that he's never going to really be able to be the number one. Drake knows he's not going to be the number one op caller outer, right? So he had to bring 21 in. 21 is Drake's in-house drill rapper. I know he's not a drill rapper, but he basically he accomplishes everything that a drill rapper would normally do. So I think in that way it does make sense. AOKD, I need you to hop on this track out, man. I'd rather hop on a FYBJ main song than you, AOKD. I'm just kidding. But I don't know, there's just a certain level of Instagram comment clout chasing that I don't know if I could do a song with a rapper who's doing all that. And I feel like AOKD might have crossed the line. You might have left too many thirst trap comments on the No Jumper Instagram in order for me to really do a song with you. We got to do an Adam City Nash interview. I mean, anything's possible. Anything's possible. It's possible. I'm going to probably be doing a lot more live streaming and a lot more that kind of stuff from the store. Hey, and also, I just want to throw this out there, is that should I get a Kick deal? Because shout out my boy Hondro, but word on the streets is that Kick's trying to sign the 22 stir. But they told me I got to make a Telegram to have that conversation. I don't want to make a Telegram. I already had Telegram before, but I deleted it. But I got to make a Telegram so I can have a conversation with the Kick CEO. But the reason why I think it might make sense for me to do it is because when we're in the store and we have these IRL streams going on and shit like that, it might not be smart to do those streams on the main No Jumper channel because of the fact that, it's so much could go wrong, and it would really suck to get strike on the main channel for something that happened on an IRL stream.